Hi, my name is Kent Johnson. I work for LA Sports Performance Care. This is my model, LA Man. And today we're going to show you a modified version of hip circles with the hip flexed and the knees flexed. And we're going to follow that up immediately with showing you how to go ahead and do the modified version of hip pendulums. Now, the reason we're going to go ahead and show you a more remedial version of that is for those of you, when it comes time to do hip mobility drills, hip circles, or hip pendulums, you may actually find it hard to go ahead and actually isolate the hip without actually moving the pelvis or the lumbar spine. So by placing you on the table, we actually kind of fix the pelvis and the lumbar spine, obviously, against the table, and we take away that accessory movement, and we force you to go ahead and actually move the hip. So we're going to start with a neutral hip circle, where Allie's going to flex her left hip, dorsiflex her left foot. And now she's going to draw a circle on the ceiling with her knee, and she's going to give me 5 reps in each direction. And as you see, because her pelvis is actually on the table, it keeps her from moving her pelvis a whole lot and actually forces her to move her hip. And after she does that 5 times, she's going to actually drop her left leg off the edge of the table, side of the table there. She's going to bend her right knee. She's going to dorsiflex her left foot, and now she's going to give me a hip pendulum or internal and external rotation. And again, because the pelvis is actually fixed against the table, we're getting actually more pure hip movement. In this case, obviously, internal and external femur rotation. She's going to do that 5 times. And then when she's finished, then she's going to extend her knee, dorsiflex her. She's going to place her foot on and leg and foot on the table. She's going to dorsiflex her left foot, lock her knee out, and now she's going to give me internal and external hip rotation from there. She's just going to turn her femur in and out. And she's going to do that 5 times. And the idea is not to move your pelvis, is to move your hip. And after she does her 5 reps there, she's going to roll over and lie prone. Now Allie's going to go ahead and she's going to do, so you can actually see this, she's going to move over to and do this with her right hip instead of her left one. But now she's going to dorsiflex her foot. One of the common mistakes is that you're going to actually, patients have a tendency to actually turn their tibia out. So she's going to actually turn her foot and her heel out towards us. The other mistake that patients make when they do this exercise is because now the pelvis isn't fixed, so this is a little bit more advanced, they actually start to move the pelvis back and forth or actually lift the pelvis off the table. So you're going to need to do this exercise very slowly and be patient. Now she's going to give me 5 reps with internal and external hip rotation. And once you actually go into external rotation, that's when you have the urge to go ahead and take your pelvis off the floor. So you want off the table. So you want to keep your ASIS on the table at all times, and just move just the hip. So this is a great exercise as a precursor to a couple of the series we talked about before we actually stand up and do hip circles with your knees bent and your hip flexed, and then also, again, the hip pendulums. Good.